Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ANN American News Network. I'm your host, Vlad. Today, we have a special guest with us, Dr. Sebastian Gorka. No introduction needed, but again, Dr. Gorka, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it. My followers have been waiting for this for a while, and I want to dive right into it. We're almost at the end of 2023. 2024 is right around the corner. It's an election year. I believe it's the most important election in American history. I don't think Trump is just saying those words. I believe he means it. And I believe just like we are fighting for our right to exist as a free society in America, I believe the swamp understands that they are also fighting for their way of life. This corruption, this thievery of the American people, these endless wars, they also understand that this is their final battle too. Either they win and take over or they lose and it's not going to be good for them. What do you think, what should we expect that they might try to pull or do, to either stop the election or have Trump imprisoned or even worse? What is your take on what might happen?
Well, these people will stop at nothing. We have the leader of the opposition, President Trump, who is 50 plus points ahead any Republican challenger, who's currently defeating Joe Biden in 4 of the 5 swing states in the United States. And at the same time as being the leader of the opposition, he's facing 730 years in prison. This is a banana republic. The idea that the man who is most capable of unseating the current incumbent in the White House is being assaulted at state and federal level by those who have weaponized the judiciary and law enforcement tells you everything you need to know. You're absolutely right. We've heard this cliche again and again and again. The next election will be the most important in your lifetime. Well, this time it's absolutely true. If they can prevent President Trump from winning, if they can steal the election, they will lower the voting age to 16. They'll pack the Supreme Court. They'll redistrict every voting district in America, and that'll be it. The opposition to the radicalized Democrat Party will be dead, and we will no longer live in a free republic.
Do you think, so if he's found guilty in any of these trials, right now, I really follow these, and right now, if Daniel Willis is admitted, they might not even go to trial until 2025. So that's falling apart. We see Jack Smith. It's not going easy for him. All these orders are being lifted. All this stuff is happening. But what do you think is going to happen in the courts?
Impossible to predict. Absolutely. If anybody tells you they know, they're lying. We know only one judge. The judge in Florida is a decent human being. Everyone else, the judges, the prosecutors, they're political hacks. Jack Smith is such a political hack. He had a decision thrown out of the Supreme Court 9-0. He's such a political hitman. So whether it's Judge Chutkan in D.C., who was a partner at the same law firm at Boyce Flexner with Hunter Biden, or whether it's this insane person in New York, Alvin Bragg, or whether it's Letitia James, these people campaigned on putting President Trump behind bars. That is their goal. They are insane and they are radicals. So if anybody says they can predict to you the future in the next 11 and a half months, they're lying to you.
Okay. To switch a little bit from Trump to Biden, another thing that I constantly follow because the media refuses to is the Biden crime family, the Ukraine money, the Russia money, the China money, the Romania. I mean, it just keeps going and going, right? So we see the House Oversight Committee. So Kevin McCarthy, snake, he lied. He said he was going to do all this stuff. Nothing ever happened. Now we have a speaker. I'm liking how Johnson is moving, how he's operating. He's releasing all of the January 6th tape. But do you think Joe Biden and the Biden crime family will ever be held accountable for what they did, for all the years of lying and stealing money and selling out America?
Only if President Trump is reelected, and every one of your listeners and viewers is part of making that happening. You know, a lot of people moan and complain about the last election and the rhinos this and the GOP that. And my simple question to them is, okay, what are you doing about it? My wife is a chief election officer. In the Virginia elections 2 weeks ago, I was working at the polling stations outside, handing out sample ballots. So if you are not engaged, if you're not, I mean, it's great to, you know, watch my Newsmax show or listen to my radio show every day or to tune in to conservative broadcasting, but it really doesn't matter if you don't translate it into action. We will not save the republic. We will not see justice done unless every single American who loves this country is politically engaged. If you think you're going to save the republic by spending 15 minutes every 2 years voting and maybe making a donation to a candidate, you don't deserve to live in a free America. You have to be engaged politically. So no excuses. In the next 11 and a half months, everyone has to be part of the solution.
And that's, you know, and you're a busy man. I know we have very limited time, so I'm going to write you pretty much, you led the conversation to how I wanted to finish this. So, and I talk about this very often, right? I debate my liberal friends and family. You know, as far as onto today, I've got in the last, 2 years, I've gotten 4 people to register who weren't registered, who could vote, but their first vote is going to be in 2024 for Trump. 3 people that voted for Biden, they regret it, right? We debated fact for fact. They regret what they did. They're voting for Trump next year. I also try to, being, in the Slavic community here in Spokane, Washington, we have a huge Slavic community, and I try to talk to the pastors. Like, you need to get your congregation on board. We need our people to get up and vote. Yes, there's certain things you as a pastor are not allowed to say, but right, there are home leaders. It goes. There are ways to kind of tell your people this matters. We shouldn't just come to America, enjoy, and not participate, at least in voting. So register, vote. But people that don't have a reach, people who maybe don't have a voice, besides praying, right, which most Christians do, is they're praying for God's guidance. But what can people do? Your everyday people who don't have a big platform, what can they do? Maybe they're a little too old to go, going door to door. What are some ways or some things that people can get involved in that will make a difference?
There is no excuse. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how much money you make or don't make. You need to be involved. You can do poll work. You can help local candidates from your home. You can be making phone calls. You can be on the phone tree for making phone calls to people to make sure that they go out and vote. So there is no excuse. There is literally no excuse, from knocking on doors to working at polling stations to becoming an election officer, to be part of the phone banks for elections. And most important of all is to run for local positions. Look, it's very cool to be president. Don't get me wrong. It was very cool for me to work in the White House. But America, I mean, just read de Tocqueville's book, the greatest book on America, on democracy. America is at the local level. Why does George Soros fund local prosecutors? Why do left-wing foundations fund school board candidates? If you take over the school boards, you control the future of America. So I don't care who you are. If you're not running for local school board, if you're not knocking on doors, if you're not part of a phone bank, I'm deadly serious. You are on the side of the Democrats who want to destroy America. So choose a mission, whether it's running, whether it's being part of somebody's campaign who's running, whether it's working a phone bank, or whether it's being, a poll watcher. Get engaged now. It is that simple.
Thank you, Dr. Sebastian Gorka. And for those watching, I know that Donald Trump has where you can actually be part of his campaign, whether, like the doctor said, whether it's calling, sending out flyers. Hey, get yourself one of those lawn things. I got flags flying all over my house. But get involved. I'll leave links to this video down below in the description of how you can do that. Sign up with Trump's campaign, get in contact with them, and they'll tell you what you could possibly do. Dr. Sebastian Gorka, thank you so much. May God bless you. Keep fighting the good fight. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Go to donaldjtrump.com to support the president directly. That's donaldjtrump.com. And if you want to see an exclusive interview with him that I did after I left the White House, my latest book is The War for America's Soul, where he tells you everything you need to know. That's The War for America's Soul. And then check out my website, sebgorka.com. That's SEBGORKA, sebgorka.com. God bless you and your viewers.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.